Welcome to your 2022 Mini Cooper SE. Let's take a listen to the startup sound. Sounds kind of cool. So, big difference between 2022 and 2021 is this year they have it up to 183 kilometers of range. 2021 had up to 177. So there's a 6-kilometer bump, barely noticeable, but it's still a step in the right direction. Let's start with the driving dynamics, and I have nothing but praise here. I've always liked the way the Mini Cooper handles for the gasoline version, and what they've done with the electric version is not sacrificed anything at all. Still is very quick, still handles incredibly well. The corners, the straightaways, the twists, the turns. This has all the exciting driving dynamics and characteristics of a gasoline Mini. So power-wise, we're at 181 horsepower and 199 pound-feet of torque. Pretty respectable numbers for a vehicle of this size, and you just go extremely quickly, and the stability is there. Again, whether it's a straightaway or twists and turns, the Cooper SE does it extremely well. Now, there are two settings as far as Regen Brakes go. I'm on the less power settings, so I'm at 54 kilometers an hour. I'm going to take my foot off the gas, sorry, and you can see things slowing down beside me through the window. And you can technically do one pedal driving. It's a bit of a stretch, but again, I'm not touching the brake at all, and the car has 1 kilometer an hour. Okay, so you got to tap the brake just to come to a full stop. So what I'm going to do is get turned around, and I'll get back up to around 50 kilometers an hour. And this time I will engage the aggressive Regen brake setting, and you'll see just how strong and intense it is. So little switch beside the ignition, and so it's the high regenerative braking setting, word for word. On the dashboard, I'm at 55. And you can see again just how quick the braking is here, and I'm now down to a dead stop, 0 kilometers. So with the aggressive setting, you can absolutely do one pedal braking. The drawback for that, for me, is people behind you may not be so quick to react. Yes, the brake lights come on as soon as you take your foot off the gas pedal in the high regen power setting, but I used my one at night and when there were not a lot of vehicles around me, and if I was just in regular city traffic, I had it on the low setting. All right, let's get into what everybody wants to know about, which is the charging time. So on the big perk side, it's level 1, level 2, and level 3. And to go from nothing to 80% on a level 1, that's just plugging it into your garage household outlet. That's 26 hours. So maybe you do that over the weekend, just a regular plug. Now, if you want to go level 2, that's an 8-hour exercise to go from 0 to 80% on the battery. And level 3, which is the fast charge, that's a 35-minute wait. So grab some lunch, read a book, maybe watch some of my other videos. But thankfully, the Cooper SE does have capability for level 1, level 2, level 3. Basically, Mini jammed as many batteries in here as they possibly could, and it's laid flat underneath the floorboards in a T shape. I absolutely think that range will go up and up and up the further we get into the world of full EV. It doesn't feel like an EV, just as far as regular driving goes. It still feels like a gasoline engine, and I don't say that in a bad way. Just Mini has found a good balance between the two. And yes, obviously, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, you take your foot off the brake and the regen power just kicks in and it brings it all back through your brakes. But if you're accelerating going forward in straightaways or twists or turns, it still feels like a Mini. And again, a big obstacle that I've heard is, well, EVs drive differently. You don't get the same feeling, and you'll never have a one-for-one exact replica between an ICE engine and a battery. But Minis bridge the gap very, very well. With 183 kilometers of range, this is not your primary vehicle. It shouldn't be your primary vehicle. It could be, but I think Mini set this up as a good secondary vehicle, just to kind of boot around town, go to work and back, depending on how far you work. I think there is a quote from Mini Global that said, through a survey they did, the average daily commute of somebody driving a Mini is about 45 to 50 kilometers. And if that's the case, then this is absolutely perfect for it. Because again, 183 kilometers of range, sorry, up to, I gotta remind myself to always say up to, because it's not gonna be an exact 183. But it's still suitable for day-to-day life, so you can go to work and from work and the grocery store and take the kids to whatever it is that they're doing. You can make a couple of pit stops, and you can't do long road trips. You can't go to the cottage with this, but it's still pretty functional. And I know 183 sounds like, sorry, up to 183 doesn't sound like a lot compared to the Bolt and the Kona, but this is Mini's first foray into this. It's a good start. So as of the middle of June 2021, for the 2022 Mini Cooper SE, it's $40,990. And yes, that qualifies for the $5,000 federal rebate. So you're down to a little over $35,000, yeah, taxes, fees, and all that kind of stuff. But it's priced right. Again, for a secondary car, that's a lot of fun to drive. And I think what a lot of people might miss or not have top of mind with an EV is every morning that you start the vehicle, you can be with a full charge, depending on how long you charge it overnight, as opposed to, like a gasoline engine. You're starting at a half tank, quarter tank, 3/4, whatever it is. This does have the Premier Plus line as far as a paid option set goes. Highlights are on the screen, and I can tell you that it's a leather steering wheel. It's got the massive panoramic sunroof. It's got the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system. It's got the digital dashboard. It's got the heads-up display. I would take it for the audio and for the sunroof. I know it's a lot at $8,000, but buyer's remorse is just something I'm not interested in. And even if I get it as a secondary car, I still don't want to have any compromises with it. So I would definitely tick the box for the Premier Plus line. Overall, the 2022 Cooper SE, smart move by Mini. They're getting into the electric game, and I think it's going to go up and up and up. And I know there was only a 6-kilometer bump in up to range from last year to this year, but 2024, maybe 2025, I think they'll make a big splash, and I feel they'll come out with something in the maybe 275 to 325 kilometer or up to kilometer range, but we'll have to wait and see. If you've got any questions on the Cooper SE, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to tell somebody about the channel who you think might be interested in what I do. Be well, be healthy, be safe, and I will see you in the next video.